Coming this Wednesday, 2 idiots in a mezzanine in a Quonset at Linden, Alberta.
2 drunk retards try and talk about world politics for the 30th time.
Wednesday.
Wednesday night, 2 drunk retards drinking gin and juice on their 30th episode.
Laying underneath the disco ball.
Yes, the lights, the twinkling stars of the disco ball.
Again, thank you, Kelly. It works so well in here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad we could find a place for
well,
it.
It fucks with my video quality, though. The lighting's all wrong.
Fuck the video quality. It's all about the audio.
It's all about the sound, the atmosphere.
That's right. What's the, remember on all the Disney movies, like the beginning of the movie, there'd be the sound check, the THX.
Yeah. You'd be sitting there like, holy sweet flying fuck, what am I listening to here? Like, when you'd hear that shit in the theater and the whole fucking room would be vibrating. Like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Yeah, I think that was Pixar mostly, right? Wasn't that Pixar movies?
Yeah, and then you'd see the lamp jumping.
Oh, that was the best, was the Pixar thing. Oh, fuck. Oh, I seen someone right around Halloween, a couple dressed up as the lamp and then the letter I. And the lamp was a girl and the letter I was a guy, meaning, of course, that they were having sex.
Yes, they were. It was a couple's costume, and they were engaging.
It was
in sex.
It was subtle, but not so subtle.
That's right.
I liked it. I thought that was a good idea. I like that one.
Disney movies.
Good old Disney. I liked Goofy movie. You ever watch Goofy movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Sasquatch. He was funny.
Oh, yeah, he's dancing to Staying Alive.
Doing disco.
That was a great movie.
Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk.
Music loud and the men are warm. I get beat around because I am gay.
That's not the lyrics.
Well,
that's okay.
Maybe not to you.
The other way.
Those guys were flaming. I don't know if you've seen the music video for that shit, but those guys
they were just open-minded. If you're calling the Bee Gees gay,
open asshole.
Fuck you, Gump.
They were
fuck
open
you.
Asshole, man. They were fucking gay, I guarantee it.
No, they weren't gay.
One of them had to have been gay.
Well, maybe one, yeah. But not all of them.
But each band has to have their token gay guy.
Yeah. That's what makes a good band.
Yeah. It's like Queen was, well, that was all of them.
Yeah, they were just...
they were all bisexual or something.
They were bisexual because of drugs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I was doing that much...
If you're doing that much coke, I mean, I guess smoking a penis really doesn't seem that bad, eh?
Your standards are pretty low.
Your standards are pretty low if you're burning out your nose holes with fucking
they're
cocaine
probably
all
doing
night.
way more than just cocaine.
It's amazing how ketamine makes you want to smoke penis.
Yes.
Eh? Horse tranquilizer.
Human can have a little ketamine.
Just a little bit. I do believe it is a medical, like they prescribe it to people. They prescribe ketamine to people.
They don't prescribe it. They do assisted trips, like psychological trips.
On ketamine?
Yeah.
Does ketamine make you trip balls like that?
Yeah. No, you go on quite a psychedelic high.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it'd be ketamine.
No, it's ketamine.
Like horse tranquilizer.
Like when you... No, it's... I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Search it up. I'm almost certain ketamine you get a...
Well, I'll just take your word for it.
Yeah. All right. But there's psychologically assisted... Like, what's
where do I sign up for one of these studies?
California, I think.
It's just not worth it. I mean, on one hand, trip on ketamine under supervision sounds pretty cool. On the other hand, I got to go to California.
Yeah, but there is an outfit out of the States called MAPS, and they have they use
MAPS
ecstasy.
They use MAPS,
MDMA, pure MDMA, and people go on these experiences.
Yeah, they get fucking
and they go
zoinked.
and they well, they're in a therapy session on MDMA.
Yeah, and then the therapist is there like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I can feel the earth moving.
No, well, it's not to that extent, but you really dive into your when you're high on MDMA, you really dive into your feelings for some reason.
Oh yeah, MDMA makes you gay. Makes you want to hold hands.
Yeah.
I've seen.
No, you become very loving on it, apparently.
Well, that's why they take it at. That's why all these people take it at raves and shit, because then it just makes you want to have lots of.
No, it doesn't make you want
sex.
No. It doesn't make you want to fuck everything.
Well, I think, wouldn't it? It makes you love everything.
Well, yeah, but love is different than sex, Gump. You know?
Yeah. But that's the thing is, sex with a stranger is like, yeah, that's pretty good. But if you do it on ecstasy, it almost feels like you love that person.
No, you like talk to them in a very different sense. Like you're not just, when you meet somebody out in public, you're kind of reserved. You're not really.
I'm not.
But you're not you're emotionally reserved to new people, correct?
Yeah, like I don't tell them about the trauma that happened to me in grade 4.
Yeah, but if you take MDMA, then it'll make you'll want to get that off your chest. You have this urge to get it off your chest. So you'll talk about it to anybody. That's why people feel so loving at it.
And I guess people on MDMA also want to hear about people telling their problems from grade 4. So it all kind of just works out.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're sober and someone on MDMA is like, in grade 4, Miss Williams, she made fun of me because I couldn't add. And it really stuck with me. Like, man, I don't fucking know you and I don't care, man. Just because you can't do math.
Well, I'm sure there's way worse shit that's happened to everybody than being made fun of by your teacher in grade 4. I can think of multiple more traumatic things.
Oh yeah, like having, getting your pussy knife raped or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty rough.
Why did that come to you? That's so fucked up.
Exactly. That's a lot more traumatic.
Getting your pussy knife raped. Go.
Well, you wanted something more traumatic, so I gave it to you.
Well, I appreciate that, but Jesus.
The depths of my darkness are unseeable. No, the bottom does not exist.
I think that's the deepest you can go right there. What's worse?
You get maybe involving babies or something, but there's not much worse than that.
Exactly.
The only thing worse is, that scene from Schindler's List where the girl in the red jacket kind of just shows up out of nowhere. And they're like digging bodies out of the ground because they got to move dead Jew bodies out.
It's been forever since I watched that.
You haven't watched Schindler's Fist?
No, I have, but literally 10 years ago.
You ain't seen Schindler's Fist in a while?
Cat, if you jump up on my leg, I'm going to fucking lose it.
Oh, yeah. I've got fucking...
Are you just rubbing his head on my pants?
Fucking Jim the cat is in here. Jimbles.
Fucking Jimbles.
I gave him a little chicken. I fried some chicken wings up tonight because it's Wing Wednesday. I figured why the hell not.
Those are pretty good.
I made up my own little sauce.
Explain the sauce.
Explain that sauce. Jamie, pull that shit out.
Show me that sauce.
All right. The sauce was just some bullseye barbecue.
Yeah.
Just took some of that, mixed it with a pomegranate extract sauce. It's almost like jelly, but it's really thick. I don't know. It's very good. It's just basically boiled down pomegranate juice. Yeah. And then, what else did I throw in there? A little death sauce, a little Carolina Reaper hot sauce. Just like 2 drops of that because that fucking...
you could taste that just that little bit of heat.
Yeah, I only put like a couple drops in it and it still made like that.
It was perfect.
Like all that sauce, it turns it pretty hot. So that and then a little seasoned salt and some little pepper. Yeah, just... It
was a nice little mixture of flavors. Yeah. Melody.
Yeah, well the pomegranate is like really sour. And then the bullseye sauce is kind of sweet. So yeah, it's all very good. It's a very tasty sauce.
Chicken.
Oh, nothing like chicken.
Well, other than cooking chicken and cleaning the entrance, what'd you get up to?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, let's think. I burned some shit in the old burn barrel. We had a bunch of cardboard needed to get rid of, so I burnt it. Because I'm a pyromaniac.
I love fire.
I made sure the barrel was right next to the shop.
Hell yeah.
Didn't catch it on fire, though. Pisses me off. So I burned some cardboard and some weeds.
All my favorite things are in the shop. How could you let it burn? Damn, Cat, you purr loud as hell. I can hear you through the headphones.
I wasn't gonna let the shop burn.
All
It's
right.
called a joke. It's dark humor, I believe, is what they're calling it these days. It's called dark humor. When you say something that is really just fucked up, it's to attempt to get a smile on someone's face because your social skills are so terrible that this is how you think people
but sometimes
perceive comedy.
Sometimes dark humor is actually, it's necessary in the right
Well, when
context.
it's really, really surprising.
Dark humor works well in dark times.
Well, dark humor works good when you're talking about like the Holocaust and shit.
Not just regular humor.
We just call that regular humor out here in Alberta. What's really sad though? We got all these good Holocaust jokes. No Rwandan genocide jokes.
I'll give it another 20 years. They'll be there.
But the problem is there no Rwandans who make movies about their Holocaust. So there's not going to be any jokes about it.
How many Rwandan producers do you know?
0. What Rwandan producers are there? Also 0.
I rest my case.
Exactly. So, well, there's that one Hotel Rwanda, but that was they had fucking Don Cheadle playing a Rwandan. Like Don Cheadle is American as fuck. Just had a bunch of Americans pretending to be Africans. Like
I forgot about that. Oh.
He's like, oh, the Tutsis are coming to get us. Like, Don Cheadle, your accent is terrible.
That's a dog shit accent.
You can't fucking...
Don Cheadle.
That was like watching Black Panther. You're just watching a bunch of Americans pretend to be black.
He was British, wasn't he? What was his name?
Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah.
Is he Brit? Oh, well.
Well, he had a British accent, so I
well,
just
still.
assumed.
Well, but they're trying to be like proper like Africans or whatever. So like,
Do
as you can see, I am not dead. It's like, what is this fucking accent? Like, this is a blending of... There's no clicks. I don't understand.
Oh, that'd just be racist.
That'd be cool, man. Fucking click language? That shit's tight.
You know, what languages, what African language has the
Well, there's
clicks
several, but I know that in South Africa, I think that's where most of them are. There's the Xhosa language, or I suppose they say it's Xhosa or something. They do a click. When you see an X written down, they go, oh, that means... They literally have like 5 or 6 different kind of clicks too. I watched a video on this shit. I was like, oh yeah, you got clicks off the roof of your mouth. It's like that's a letter. You got clicks off the side of your cheek. That's a click. One off the bottom. That's another click. That means some different letter. It's like you people keep track of this shit.
Well, the same idea. Like
I'm so confused.
Like ah and e, they all have different.
It's like vowels. It's like vowels,
but you can have different sounding clicks.
Exactly.
It makes total sense.
Oh, yeah.
But it's crazy that they use clicks because, I don't know. It's like, when I think of a click, I don't think of a letter. I think of, what's the actual proper word for words that are spelled like a sound?
Isn't that called onomatopoeia?
Onomatopoeia. There we go. Yeah.
You think it's onomatopoeia?
Yeah.
I would say it's less, like, clicks aren't necessarily... I think they might be able to be classified in English as not necessarily phonemes, which is to say a sound which carries meaning.
Right.
That's what a phoneme is.
Yeah.
They're not quite to that level because we don't use them in everyday words.
Yeah.
But they do carry meaning in a way.
That's true.
Like if you go, like everyone knows what that is. That's like, you do the finger guns and everything. People know what that is.
Or giddy up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You click at your horse.
Exactly. Click at your horse or... like that does carry meaning, but it's a lot. It's not a specific.
It's more of a social cue than anything.
It's more of a cue, exactly. It's not like you can't like translate that.
Yeah,
you can't really write it down either. Yeah,
where in Africa they would actually use it as a part of their language.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's part of the language. People are named shit like that.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Like what's that whole? I think Russell Peters has a really good bit about how he was in South Africa. He was at a casino and there's a guy and they just write.
I remember that.
The one his letter started with an exclamation mark. He's like
Tobile.
Yeah. Tobile. He's like what is this? Sir, please do not yell in the casino. No, but how do you pronounce your name? Oh, it's pronounced Tobile. But say that shit again. Tobile. So then he said he went up to his hotel room. He's in the elevator, and these 2 guys are like, and he's like, what the fuck is going on here? I ate a packet of Pop Rocks, and they both stopped and turned at me. I thought I was going to get the shit kicked out of me.
That was a great bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love Russell Peters. He's great. He's really good with, like getting accents very accurately. Like he does Chinese accents, like not stereotypical and like semi-racist.
Yeah, like no, very accurate.
No, he does like really accurate the way he does like a Chinese convenience store owner.
Yeah,
it's just it's so perfect because it actually sounds like someone who has been speaking English for a long time, but it was not their first language for the first 30 years of their life.
Exactly.
It's like it's really hard to like get that bang on.
Yeah.
And he does. I don't know. He manages to do it.
He's really good at doing accents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gone through multiple divorces.
How many kids does he have now?
I don't know. Probably 4 or something.
Nice.
I don't know how many kids, but I think he's on his 3rd wife.
Good for him.
Good.
He may not be an Albertan, but he's living the Alberta dream for sure.
Where was he from? Wasn't it Nova Scotia or something?
No, he grew up in Ontario. I think.
Was it Ontario? I thought he was in the Maritimes for something.
No, that's maybe it was Halifax. Could have been Halifax. I know Sean Majumder was from out east.
That's right.
Fucking good old Sean Majumder. He's so funny.
I forgot about all those good Canadian comedians.
Oh, there's so many good ones. I love his bit about, it was like somewhere around 2008 or 9 or something like that. And Sean Majumder's like, he addresses the Americans in the audience. He's like, the Canadian dollar, you see what it's worth these days? That's right. It's about $1.15 American. Yeah. Woo. And then he's like, just imagine a Canada goose fucking strangling an American eagle to death. Yeah. But we're sick and tired of you Americans making fun of us Canadians. We've had electricity since like the 80s. Okay. It's so fucking funny. He's great. Or he would always, he would host for the Just for Laughs festival.
That's right.
Or he would just do a bunch of promo shit for it, right? So they would do that one where what the hell? It was like a superhero comic where he was the, how did it all go? It's like Spider-Man. He got this guy in the audience of a comedy club got bit by a radioactive hack comic and turned into the worst comedian on the planet. And so then it just kind of like chronicles this guy's like life on the road and shit like that. It's so funny.
The hack.
That's what it was called. The hack. Yeah. It was like, it was just like Spider-Man or some shit. It's fucking funny. Yeah. Also, I was on the old Instagram today.
Yep.
And I don't know, there's this trend going on. There's a hashtag, one of these social things where people are like, we can change society by doing absolutely nothing on Instagram.
That's right.
So I see this trend and I'm like, this is hilarious. It's called hashtag no good way.
Okay.
There's no good way to say the word retard. That's the movement. And I have to politely disagree. Because there's many, many good ways to say the word retard.
So what bugs me about that statement, there's no good way, is that we're embarrassed to talk about the fact that there is mentally challenged people.
Yeah, that someone might be suffering from a form of retardation.
That fucking bothers me.
Yeah, there's no good way to say it. How about like a medical diagnosis? Is that not a good way to say it?
Yeah.
Is any, how about your buddy's walking down the street and he's like just being stupid and being a moron and making y'all look stupid?
I love the word retard.
It's like, what do you say? Stop it, Jeremy. You're being retarded.
Jeremy, you're being retarded.
Adam. Yeah. It's like, there's plenty of good ways to say the word retard. So, of course, I left a comment on this one post that was like, there's no good way. I'm like, what do you mean? There's plenty of good ways to say the word. They would just always say the R word. There's no good way to say the R word. Oh, you mean retard? Yeah. No, there's plenty of good ways.
Yeah, I'll say it all the time.
It got deleted almost instantly.
God damn it.
Comment. I was like really hoping someone would be like, you're an asshole. Because I love that shit. I like making people angry on the internet.
It bothers me that they would delete that.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, and sure, it's a little rude, but...
Well, it depends on the it can be rude. It can be very rude. But not always.
No.
And what am I supposed to say? If my friend is like coming up with a plan that is just stupid, what am I supposed to say to him? Well, I could say, you're a moron. Well, the term moron is also a medical definition from like 100 years ago, detailing a man with mental problems. That's what a moron means. Stupid means the same thing, that you have mental problems. Dumb means that you're unable to speak.
I don't want to be that guy, but I will always, well, not me personally. I think everybody, even if they don't admit it, in their mind, they'll always associate a stupid action
with someone with a brain problem.
Exactly.
That's just how it is. And like pretending that doesn't exist, pretending people with issues don't exist, how is that helpful?
Yeah.
In any way? Like, how is that going to help them?
Doesn't make sense.
And then they posted this video too of like a very, very high functioning person with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of hate or whatever that this lady was getting on like Twitter, which is like, it's Twitter. Like,
yeah, fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter. It's full of vitriolic people. Like, of course they're going to leave horrible shit. They're like, look at this retard, can't sing, can't act. This lady's an actor apparently, or actress. And it's like, can't sing, can't act, fucking retard or whatever. But yeah, that's funny. Because like, she actually is an actress.
I mean, she's no Scarlett Johansson, but
but you should have seen her body. Oh no.
Stupid thick.
Dummy thick.
Dummy thick.
It's not about how she looks, it's about how she works it. Icky.
This is the last episode of Brothers Radio.
No, it's not. We're just getting started.
That's right.
Episode 30, by the way.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we have a couple episodes. So, if you're listening and you've listened this far, followed us this long, well, we appreciate you folks.
We really do.
We also do actually have to call out the fact that you should probably see a psychiatrist because you may be retarded. Because if you listen to this show, either you got way too much time on your hands or you actually find us funny.
That's right.
In either case, you got problems.
What's the going rate for a psychiatrist?
I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist.
I bet they bill like motherfuckers. They'll just send out a fat bill.
It probably gets covered by most insurance, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming.
I guess here in Canada it would be.
I'm sure there's a certain...
fairly covered.
A lot of it would, like...
Well,
the whole thing wouldn't be covered, but...
I doubt that...
there's probably some percentage of it that is covered by the government health insurance.
Still, you're probably paying like $60 or $65 an hour. Plus, they're probably charging over $90 an hour a decent psychiatrist.
Well, see, there's two kinds. There's psychiatrist and psychologist. Psychiatry.
What's the difference? I never really know.
Psychiatry is like that's more of a medication-oriented field. Like, you're treating problems with meds. You're more of a chemist in that sense. Psychology is more like trying to understand how the brain, like how the psyche works.
Right.
It's not about treatment so much as it's about like how do people think? What is the nature of thought? That's more like psychology.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. They probably make a shitload of money. Maybe that's what I should do. You get paid to like listen to people, complain about things that they could probably just be solving themselves if they talk to people who love them.
Yeah. That's why we need better community, a better sense of community.
Yeah.
I think it would all help us mentally.
It's like, why would I want to go to a psychologist when I got friends?
Exactly.
And they'll help me solve my problems for free.
Well, I think the one thing psychologists have that, you and me don't have are the skills to teach somebody to take care of themselves.
I guess. I mean, not necessarily. Like,
I guess we all have skills.
No, psychologists don't teach people how to take care of themselves. They mostly... I guess for like anxiety, that sort of stuff.
Because in a way, you kind of teach people how to understand how they feel. Like, so...
Well, you help people identify the problem.
Yeah.
you can at least help people identify where the problem comes from. Now, of course, solving the problem is up to them.
But they can help you understand when you're having a panic attack or something. They can teach you, when you feel this way, breathe for fuck's sakes, or whatever.
Well, I don't know. Having someone tell me like, breathe. Like, I have a whole part of my brain that does that for me.
You and me don't have any sort of anxiety or anything like that to where we need to be told to breathe. Some people are like that.
Had to be told to breathe.
Yeah, like they're just having a panic attack. Rough. You and me don't have that problem, but people do.
Damn.
Like you and me probably need psychiatrists or psychologists because we're kind of fucked in the head. But we're not
like joking about retards and stuff.
We don't have anything like anxiety or like social anxiety or nothing. We're good that way.
That's true.
But like, yeah, we're like one step away from murdering kittens for sure.
Aubrey, why do you like to laugh at the thought of the Rwandan genocide? I don't know. Shit's funny. They got one group of people who look exactly like the other group of people, and these motherfuckers are chopping each other up with machetes.
Because it's kind of fun it is fun to take a funny look at the past.
Well, it's just better to laugh about horrible things than to cry about it.
What are you going to do? Are you going to sit back and just cry about it? Don't quit being a bitch.
Yeah, that shit already happened.
Yeah, shit's over.
Yeah.
Here we are just saying, get over the Rwandan genocide.
I met a guy who went through the Rwandan genocide. Eh?
Did you?
When I was in university, I had a class where that was one of the main... How did it all go? Oh, well, everyone was broken up into groups, and each group got a book that they had to read and then come up with a analysis of that book. And our book was about the Rwandan genocide. And we had a speaker come in and talk about the Rwandan genocide. He went through it. He was like 5 years old or something. He was a kid. He somehow managed to fucking get out of the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book, you said?
No, he didn't write this book, but he is like an associate professor or something like that in Calgary or something.
Cool.
Like that. Or, he was working on his degree anyway.
Do you know his story? Like, how old was he when he came to Canada or anything like that? Or got out of Rwanda or whatever?
Well, so he was pretty young when he was in Rwanda. Survived the genocide by basically hiding, like, in a ditch most of the time. And then, I don't know how he got to Canada. He had only been... Now, this was probably about 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
But he had been in Canada for maybe 5 or 6 years at that point.
Yeah.
So, and he was a pretty young guy. Like, he was probably 24, 25 at the time. So, he had just come to Canada pretty recently. Like, he got out when he was a teenager. But... he lived through the thing. He got, like, his parents, he had, like, 7 or 8 siblings, and I think he's the only one that lived. Like, just fucked. Just a fucked up situation. Wow. I think he managed to survive because he hid with a Hutu family. He's a Tutsi, right? He managed to hide with a Hutu family who, like, took him in and, like, sheltered him and stuff.
Yeah.
I think is how it worked.
Yeah, that would make sense. When did that genocide happened? I thought
90 to 91 or something like that.
Oh, so he was goddamn, I mean, he was probably 26 or 27.
Yeah, something like that. Or, well, I can't remember. Maybe it was 95, 96. I can't remember. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in the 90s.
Okay. I was under the impression it was later, like 80s, but I don't know why.
No.
Probably because I'm an idiot.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but...
You're retarded.
See, that's a good time to use the word retard.
Exactly.
It's like,
what's
wrong with that?
It's a light. I think it should be a light word.
I think it used to be, and I think it should be.
I think you should be able to
we're going to tiptoe around the fact.
Lightly.
We're going to tiptoe around the fact that some people have brain disorders. Like, come on. It's like, this is just the nature of things, and we might as well laugh about it.
That's right.
It's like, fuck you if you, like,
have a little
are
humor.
Making fun of retarded people to their face. That's fucked up. But to use their condition as a comparison for a regular person's stupid behavior, how is that? That's not offensive to them, first of all, because they're not going to get the joke. But
we sound like such bigots.
I'm not that big.
We're big idiots.
Big idiot. That's what we are, big idiots.
What are you doing tomorrow, Gump?
Same thing I do every day.
Try and take over the world.
No.
That's a binky in the brain.
Pinky in the brain, not binky. You fucking.
I was gonna say binky get some brain, but
Pinky getting some brain.
Is that on? I bet that would be on Pornhub. Binky getting brain.
No, don't even. Enough. Don't. I mean, obviously, Rule 34 applies to everything.
What's Rule 34?
Rule 34 is rule number 34 of the internet. If it exists, there's porn of it. So
if the thought exists,
if you can think of it, it exists, and there's porn of it.
Because isn't the internet made up of like 50% porn or something ridiculous? It's a ridiculous percentage of the internet is pornography.
Like just like pure data, like gigabytes.
Actually search that shit up. Just search up how much of the internet is pornography.
Right. Hold on, it's going to be an astronomical number. Even if it's 5%, that's a lot.
No, it's pushing. I thought it was pushing like 50 or 40.
It can't be that high. Can't be that high.
No, it's that high.
Can't be that high. I've seen it all.
No, you haven't.
I have.
No, it's simply
5 million petabytes of fucking pornography.
No, it's literally impossible for the human mind to watch that much pornography.
What percentage of the internet is pornography? Let's find out. Hopefully this question makes sense to the Mr. Google. Dr. Google. Well, it's definitely up there. This is 2013. It says one figure that cropped up again and again is that 37% of the internet is made up of pornographic material.
That was 2013?
That was 2013. I'm assuming it's probably gone up since then.
Can we search up
OnlyFans, etc.?
Exactly. Probably search up 2019 or 2020.
Well, I got 2018. That's pretty close.
What's that?
Well, I don't know what the accuracy of this, but if it'll load, for fuck's sake.
Like, let's give it 5% either way.
Okay, we'll give it some error bars. I think this one says, hold on, load, you bitch. God damn it. Well, I guess it's going slow because, 400% of the internet is just porn, so all the servers are dedicated to helping Japanese men whack off right now. So obviously my phone is going a little slow.
Those Japanese are strange people.
Ah, yes. The Japanese know the way of the samurai. It's funny little fellows. Very inventive.
I thought Nokia was from Finland.
Yeah, whatever. Watch this.
Is it not loading, Gump?
It's being a fucking hunk of garbage.
Jesus.
It's being a hunk of bunk. Let me switch to my data.
Yeah, get rid of that Wi-Fi. We don't need that shit.
It's not helping. Okay, well, that's cool. That website's fucked. Broken.
Reload. Anyway.
In the meantime, while that loads.
I was recently listening to Allman Brothers today.
The Allman Brothers. What song?
It was just Midnight Rider. And Ramblin' Man's pretty good.
Fucking, I love Midnight Rider. Midnight Rider. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I got to run to keep from hiding. Whatever the next verse is. And I got one more silver dollar. No, I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the Midnight Rider.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I do love that tune.
That's a great tune.
Because I was listening to some real bangers today. I can't pick a single one other than those for some reason. Who was I listening to? Fuck. But no, I was listening to some Boston today.
Fucking Boston rocks cock, man. They're great.
Let's rock today.
I like my favorite song with them is It's Just Gotta Be More Than a Feeling. Just because that song is so iconic. It's in like every single fucking movie since 1985.
Fuck yeah.
I love that.
More than a feeling.
Love that one. Oh. You ever listen to much Max Webster / Kim Mitchell?
Not really. What?
Well, you know,
tune?
like patio lanterns.
Oh,
I guess
yeah,
that's Kim Mitchell, but Max Webster does that one. Hold the line. No, sorry, toe the line. No. Hold on. Let go of the line. I'm thinking of Hold the Line by Toto. Hold the line. Do, 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 do. Love isn't always on time.
Yeah.
That's Toto. But no, Max Webster does that one, Let Go of the Line, which is, you'd know it if you heard it. I think any Canadian knows the sound of that guitar just because they play that shit on the radio all the time. Boo doo 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 do 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 do. Yeah.
Do do. Yeah, I know.
Do 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 do. Bam. If you're driving truck right now, for fuck's sake, please don't switch over to your radio. Just listen to us.
Isn't it?
Don't go on your Spotify. Be listening to this for real. Just listen to us.
Message. Is that the song? My Girl?
No, that's My Girl by.
Who's that by? I'm mixing two songs together.
Isn't that Chilliwack?
Oh, that is
My Girl. Yeah, that's Chilliwack, isn't it?
Fuck. So I'm mixing Chilliwack and Max Webster.
Hold on, I gotta make sure. I bet John's listening to this, just freaking the fuck out because I probably got it wrong.
John's actually.
You fucking idiot! Hold on, let's see.
I pay $10 a month for you two fucking idiots to fuck up music song. $10 fucking a month. Who runs this trailer park anyway?
No, it actually is Chilliwack, so we're safe.
Is it?
It is. It's Chilliwack. Gone, 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 she been gone so long. She been
gone, gone, gone so long.
Yeah.
Gone, 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 she been gone so long. Yeah. Hope you get the message. Yeah.
That's My Girl. No, Hold the Line is, it starts with like the synth and doom, 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 doom. I'll have to show it to you later.
God damn it. We're just going to have to listen to some tunes here after this.
I'll just put it into the microphone so you'll know it instantly. Everyone who doesn't know what we're talking about will know it instantly if they ever listen to Q107 at like 9 o'clock at night.
Q107.
Shout out to Tarzan Dan or whatever the fuck.
Tarzan Dan's all right, but then you got, what's the guy in the afternoon? Handsome Cam.
Oh, is he new?
Could be. I don't know. He's kind of a fucking loser.
Oh. Does he suck cock for a living?
Could be. Not for a living. He's a radio DJ. But the morning crew with Kimmy.
So he just does it for fun, eh?
Yeah. Kimmy, Willie, and Elise. Kim, Will, and Elise, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Here's Let Go of the Line. You'll know this.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. Oh, hell yeah.
I'll play until the guitar starts.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't believe I didn't... I heard this song today on the radio. Yeah. Q107.
Calgary rocks. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know that too.
Everyone knows that song. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's a Canadian band, a Canadian song. You don't know who the fuck did it or what it's called, but you know it because that's all they have to fill their quota for Canadian music on the radio. Yeah. So, of course you know it because they play it 5 times a fucking day. But you don't care enough because it's not fucking... It's not Jimi Hendrix or... It's not fucking Fleetwood Mac, so fuck it.
It's kind of funny that, like, some of those songs are popular here, but, like, you go anywhere else.
No one knows anything about it, yeah.
So it's like...
Like, who the fuck knows anything about Street Heart other than Canadians? What kind of love is
Maybe
this?
1 million people outside of Canada know that song.
Maybe. That's pushing it. Or, Doucette. Mama, let that boy play some rock and roll. Jazz is much too crazy. He can play it when he's old. He's too young for the blues. He's still inside his first pair of shoes. He's so young.
Give that boy some freedom. Let him move around.
Yeah, he's from Montreal,
Don't get in his way. Really?
Yeah, he's from Montreal. He's a Canadian. That's why they always fucking play that on Q107.
Yeah, that's a good fucking tune.
Oh, yeah. Ow, ow, ow.
Classic.
Yeah. Good old fucking do set.
But in a way, also fuck Q107 because they're
Well, they don't play any 60s. It's just all 80s tunes.
Yeah, it's a
they
lot of
really
hair
went
band
downhill
shit.
in the last, 10 years. I remember when they play a lot of, older, into the 60s. Now they don't play, any early Zeppelin, hardly any early Zeppelin. They hardly play any... They won't play anything
they get some
that
big,
wasn't...
You get some big Led Zeppelin, some big songs, like you get Black Dog.
Yeah, you'll get some of that, but that's
not
when...
some of their... I love, When the Levee Breaks. That's a fucking
Yeah, they won't
good
play
tune.
that one. They won't play, huge, long songs, other than fucking Stairway to Heaven maybe once a month. I fucking love that tune.
Goes
That
hard.
song was written in 1920.
Really? Who wrote it?
What the hell is his name? He was a Delta blues artist. Wrote that about the Mississippi floods in 1922, I want to say. There was these floods that happened in Mississippi because the river fucking burst its banks, and it killed 20,000 people.
Oh, wow.
It drowned a lot of people, and this guy wrote a song about it. And of course, Led Zeppelin. If you look into Led Zeppelin, you realize that at least half of their music on the first 3 albums is just old blues songs that they
Hardened up.
yeah, took the electric guitar to.
Yeah.
Lemon Song, that's Killin' Floor, the old blues song Killin' Floor, which I think was that Howlin' Wolf or was that Robert Johnson or one of them fellas. And
Sorry about that.
lots of that stuff is just old blues music. They did Since I've Been Loving You, that's an old blues song.
That's why they had such a unique sound because it was old. Because they're redoing old shit?
Essentially, yeah. They were taking old blues, not contemporary, not a lot of contemporary blues at the time, old blues from the 30s and 40s or older, and then putting electric guitar to it and, cranking the fuck out of it, making it faster. In a way, it's kind of like how punk took folk music and then just sped it up 2 times.
Yeah. Well, you see that today too, because what's that one artist, Kygo? He did a rave techno version of Higher Love by Whitney Houston.
Oh, is that right?
He's done a few songs like that.
Okay, well, Higher Love, that was originally Steve Winwood.
Higher love.
That was Steve Winwood originally.
But he did the Whitney Houston version.
Okay, yeah, and then he technoed it.
And mixed it up a bit. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But also pays homage to Whitney Houston. Doesn't mess with her vocals at all.
Oh, that's cool.
It works really well.
There's a lot of that where guys will take old songs and kind of remix them. Wasn't "Give Me a Man After Midnight" by ABBA? There's been many remixes of that. Just recently.
Gimme, gimme.
By Madonna, right?
Gimme, gimme, gimme is by ABBA, and then Madonna is Hung Up.
Hung Up, right? So when did she redo that?
Probably 15 or 20 years after.
Yeah, right. And now there's remixes of the original ABBA.
Well, have you heard? Well, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme goes hard as fuck.
Gimme, gimme, gimme a man after midnight.
No, people at...
I resent them because they're Swedish.
No, that song just has a good rave sound to it. Even the original one by ABBA just has a good rave sound to it.
Yeah. Or what's another one? Sorry, that's part of this.
Has a real kind of techno-y electric.
Well, sweet dreams are made of these. There's techno versions of that now.
To disagree.
The guys will put heavy bass on it.
Fuck, what song is that?
Sweet dreams but made of these. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Sweet Dreams by fuck. I can't remember.
What the hell is it? God.
When you say it, I'm just...
Mom's going to listen to this and be like, you fucking idiots!
No, she doesn't know names.
Doesn't she like this song, though?
Oh, she likes it. Because you also seen it in X-Men. It was in there when I'm fucking garbage with names today.
Eurythmics, Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
That's and then who's this? Dave something.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is this the one? All right, that's about as much as we can play. Otherwise, we'll get fucking. Turn off. We'll get fucking whacked probably by the YouTube police or some shit.
YouTube, but not Spotify.
Maybe Spotify. It's still legal to do that on Spotify.
Oh, other people do it.
Well, yeah, but Joe Rogan owns the internet now, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, other people do it too.
Who?
I don't know.
Well, maybe, but of course we don't own anything.
I own the disco ball.
Hey, we got that going.
We don't even own it. Kelly, you can come and get it whenever you want.
You can have it back if you want. We'll keep it.
We're happy to keep it, but
it technically is still yours.
I own 3 hubcaps. No, there's 4.
There's 4.
It's funnier when it's 3. Because everybody owns 3 hubcaps.
Yeah, it has to either be 3 or 1. But it's much funnier when it's 3 because that means you had 4 and lost 1.
That's right. Exactly. Everybody has 3 hubcaps.
Because if you have 1, that means you just found it in the ditch.
The ditch owns 1.
Which means someone who drove that stretch of road has 3.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to just ignore the fact you spilled water all over yourself about 5 seconds ago.
It's booze, Gump. I thought it was fuller than I thought.
Isn't that water?
No. Well, yeah, it's a tempo shit.
Oh,
you watched me pour it in there, fucker. You're like looking at it while I was pouring.
Well, I wasn't really looking at it.
Well, you're heavy into story.
Sometimes when I get talking, my vision just kind of stops working. Like I just can't comprehend anything that's going on with my eyeballs.
That's fair.
I get real.
You can only use one thing at a time.
Yeah, like I suck at multitasking. I can't see things at the same time as telling a deep story about fucking.
I think everybody sucks at multitasking.
It's actually true. There was an article came out. Actually, this is a while ago now, but there was a article in the field of psychology showing that multitasking is horseshit.
When somebody says they're good at multitasking, you're actually just good at
switching
and planning your next movement.
Exactly. You're good at being able to switch from task to task efficiently.
That's right.
It doesn't mean you can do two tasks at the same time. Like that's not. No one can actually do that. The human brain actually doesn't function that way.
Well, and I'm sure there's I could draw a stick figure of a cat while I throw this ball up and down. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure you could, but how fucking good is it going to be if you really just focus on drawing the picture of a cat and then throwing the ball up in the air?
But it's not even just that. It's how is your brain actually working if you were doing something like that?
Yeah.
If you were able to train yourself to do that, your brain wouldn't be drawing the cat at the same time as you're throwing the ball. You would throw the ball in the air. As it's in the air, this hand isn't doing anything. You quickly draw something and then catch the ball and throw it again and then draw something and catch the ball.
Exactly.
You'd be constantly switching between the 2 tasks.
Yeah, and you become very efficient at switching between those 2 tasks.
Yeah, and it's very hard to train something like that. Like I don't know if you guys have ever, you folks at home or in the cab of a truck or.
Let's ask a question out to our listeners.
I don't know if you've ever tried rubbing your belly and also patting yourself on the head.
Oh, I can do it.
But I can only do it in one way. Because I can only do it with my left hand on my stomach and my right hand on my head. Because then, see, fuck, my left hand's doing a rub motion on top of my head.
I can do it on both directions. Like if I switch both hands. Yep.
That one's a little harder.
But I would definitely be better at
about it.
I'd definitely be better at my dexterity between left and right.
From running hoe all day.
Yeah, running equipment because my hands are always working opposite of each other, doing different tasks.
Always separate tasks.
Yeah. Like I'm doing one task, which is running equipment, but my hands are doing very different movements.
Right.
Working together, but different movements.
Each hand never gets confused.
That's right.
Because what happens, like what just happened right there, for instance, I had both my hands doing the exact same thing.
Going up and down.
They were both doing this. They were both, like my left hand was rubbing the top of my head and my right hand was rubbing my belly.
But if you tried to go pat your head with your left hand, your right hand would just rub your belly up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you wouldn't be going around in a circle.
No, exactly. Like what happens is they start mirroring each other.
Yeah.
Essentially, the two tasks kind of get melded into just one shitty task that is subpar. So I guess if you do something like that all day, where you're running joysticks for a machine, you do get to train your brain to be able to differentiate kind of your hands.
Different movements.
Yeah, exactly. Different movements.
I never thought about that.
You're still retarded, though.
Coming from the guy that can't pat his head and rub his belly at the
I
same
could,
time.
but only one way, because I got a dominant hand. Got a dominant hand, you fuck. We're both right-handed. What am I complaining about? Really got to think about it.
I don't have to think about it at all. I can just do
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is you trained your brain to be able to do shit like that.
I'm a genius.
Meanwhile, I fucking trip on dust on the ground. Like, I'm about as graceful as a fucking walrus.
That's true. I don't really trip or fall or hurt myself.
Yeah, I do lots. I'm fucking
clumsy. But you're good at facts, Gump. You can think of all sorts of things.
You want some spit facts?
Sure.
Spit in the mouth.
Spit in my mouth.
Spit in my mouth. Faggot.
Don't be gay, just spit in my mouth.
What?
Wait, you never heard that before?
Don't be gay, just spit in my mouth.
It's an old story from like the 1500s.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yes, go on.
Let me elaborate.
No, please. I want to see you invent this as we go. I'm excited. I want to see your thought process in real time.
Oh, no. Okay, so the time was about 1528. There's this man named Joseph. Oh no, I'm already shitting the bed.
Just think of any common name.
Joseph Hugo.
Where the fuck is Joseph Hugo from?
Well, modern day Moscow.
Okay.
And
Moscow existed then too, so you don't have to say modern day Moscow. It was there then as well.
No, he's a man from 1518.
Yeah.
That time traveled to modern day Moscow 2021.
Oh no.
And discovers girls that spit in his mouth. He was out he time traveled into Moscow. There he is. So
someone had to go back and get him.
He's at a fucking train station. He just about falls in front. This is the scene.
Okay.
So
set the scene.
He gets in the time machine. I don't know how this time machine got into 1518 Moscow, but he gets into the time machine, just hits a big green button, takes him to 2021 Moscow.
Yeah. Okay.
Gets out of the time machine, almost steps in front of a train and it goes whizzing by. And he's like, I don't know, I can't speak Russian. But
he's a Russian though. He's from Moscow.
He'd say something.
Privyet is hello.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the same.
Yeah, but would he say that when a train is whipping by?
Oh, probably not.
And
He'd probably go, oh shit, but in Russian.
But then he steps back. All right, he's okay. Then he wanders through the subway. All of a sudden, there's a nightclub.
Yeah.
It's big pink light. It attracts me. He's never seen light before, other than the stars
and the fire.
And a fire, with his wife
Olga,
and his two children.
Ivan.
Well, not Ivan.
And Ushanka.
He passed in the winter.
Lost my son in the winter. What about Ushanka?
Yes, Ushanka's still there. God, he misses them. But he sees these pink lights. They're beautiful. He wanders toward them. There's a curtain of beads. Wanders.
Parts of beads.
Parts of beads.
Never even seen beads before.
And he just hears and everybody's wearing.
And he's thinking someone's banging on an anvil or some shit.
Exactly. And everybody's wearing a black suit and just some white stripes down their arms and legs. We're like, what the fuck is this?
And he goes in there and there's Chinese women.
Yeah. But off to the corner, he sees this character giving an interview into a microphone. He takes his black stick that this lady is holding and just goes, puts it in his mouth. That man doesn't realize the significance of that video.
That guy was British.
Was that in Brit?
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. You're getting your videos mixed up, but that's okay. Keep going. No, this is good.
I'm sure it happened before.
It probably happened in Russia. Those guys sucking cock all the time.
So these beautiful Chinese women walk up to him. I'm not sure why they're Chinese, Kemp said.
Well, because it's modern day Russia. There's plenty of Chinese women in Russia. There's Chinese women everywhere.
All right, this beautiful Chinese woman walks up with this thing of, it's hard to explain, but
she comes up to him and says, "For $20, I spit in your mouth.
Yeah.
For 20 ruble. For a ruble, I spit in your mouth." And of course, Joseph is like, "Well, all I got is 1 ruble, which is all I made this year."
And it doesn't even look like the modern day ruble. Truthfully, it's just a round stone.
It's just it's a piece of silver.
Yeah.
So, is this any good here at this club? Well, I go talk to my manager. She goes over to the manager, and the manager comes back. Anatoly, of course, is his name, and he's wearing a black suit with a black shirt underneath, balding,
sunglasses, which is strange because it's dark.
Also has a cigar in his
occasional flashing light.
Has a lit cigar in his mouth. Has a lit cigar in his mouth and another cigar in his suit pocket. And he comes over and he says, "Well, privyet, comrade. I understand you want to have one of our ladies spit in your mouth. But I also understand all you have to trade is silver. Well, I tell you, I have a cousin in the silver industry. And this piece of silver, this will cover." And so the Chinese lady spits in his mouth, and they happily ever after.
It's a raging erection.
He has a raging. He comes on instantly. He's never had something like this before. His wife is 300 pounds, and costs a fifth of the family farm to keep her around.
Jerked him off the same way she turned butter. Just. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck! Don't turn me on now, brother.
Got him turning the butter.
But she costs 1/5 to keep the farm running. Have 1/5 of the profits could just go into feeding that fucking cow. So he's thinking, well, goddamn, this Oriental bitch just spit in your mouth for 20 ruble for 1 piece of silver. Goddamn. So he decides to stay.
Exactly.
And that man grew up to be Vladimir Putin.
We solved it.
That's where Putin came from.
I didn't pay $20 fucking
to have some Japanese bitch spit in my mouth. I wanted Chinese. I specifically asked. I know my Asian geography, you son of a bitch.
I paid for a lady, not fucking Corey and Trevor.
Some Thai lady boy. That's fucking gay. Oh, God. That was a trip.
We're also trying screenwriting. It's going well.
I have a book on screenwriting if you want to read it.
I noticed that. I was like, oh, I'm not going to read that one.
Oh, good. All right. Never mind.
I'm doing good doing other things. I'll stick with what I'm doing.
All right. Well, I'll read the screenwriting book. I already have, and I'll create a screenplay that is so dog shit that no one in their right mind would ever consider it. What do you think?
I'm in.
All right, perfect.
Just like a good writer. Just like a good writer would. Yeah. Write a screenplay and it would never
have it go nowhere. Die poor. But then, 20 years later, someone takes my script and turns it into a movie. And it flops.
Crashes and fucking burns.
In fact, it costs the studio so much money, they go bankrupt.
Steven Spielberg
Which
kills
honestly,
himself.
honestly, that's the greatest honor. For me,
that's a curse of the Gumper.
To have it be so bad that it actually bankrupts like Lucasfilms and Steven Spielberg kills himself. Fuck yeah.
Epic.
What more can one man ever wish for?
Epic.
You know how much impact that would have?
Unreal.
It'd be an unreal impact to just kill a man through the sheer shittiness of my writing.
Mm-hmm.
That's power. That's power that I don't know if I can wield.
Yeah.
How do I handle such power?
You know, looking at this railroad spike. Sorry to go off topic here.
Oh, that's okay. Keep going.
But can't we upgrade the rail system? Like, they're still using spikes.
Yeah, we could probably upgrade it.
Like, we need to think outside the box. Build a real cheap but efficient way of...
like trebuchets. We just fucking trebuchet shit all over the country.
Brother,
Use gravity. You have a little electric engine with a crazy transmission that would just wind that bitch up. Because it only, if you have a really wicked gear system, you could wind up a trebuchet in like no time.
Yeah.
With like a winch engine.
Yeah.
It cost almost no energy. And then you just have that bitch fling shit, fling a satchel of bananas over to the grocery store. You don't need trains, you don't need trucks, nothing. You just use trebuchets. What do you think?
Trebuchet won't throw more than like 1,000 feet, though.
Yeah, but you have successive trebuchets. You have series of trebuchets.
Yeah, but you need people to load them into the trebuchet.
Exactly. More jobs. How do we both solve the supply chain issues and unemployment at the same time? I'm telling you right now, trebuchets. We just have trebuchet lines going across the country, flinging shit back and forth, east to west, north and south. We're just flinging bananas and bread and fucking Ford F-150s and computer mice and fucking bushels of wheat.
Illegal aliens.
Illegal aliens, people as well. You want to send fucking Chinese people to pick cherries in BC? We'll send them over from London, Ontario. We'll trebuchet them over. They should be over there in 2 weeks' time. It's not exactly the fastest system, but by God, it's cheap. Especially because, of course, you're flinging Chinese people, and they don't cost too much. Especially if they hit the wrong, if they don't hit the landing pad.
Imagine living in India.
Okay, imagining it right now.
It sucks.
It's not good. I gotta say right now, it smells like poop. But goddamn, the food's spicy, so I mean that's pretty good.
I do like spicy food, but I'm tired of working for $4 a day.
But goddamn it, could we maybe get a toilet here? I'd like a toilet in my apartment. That'd be cool. That would almost be luxury.
Yeah. God bless capitalism. Seriously.
Yeah. Cause I too like capitalism.
Because if you believe it and you think hard enough on it, you can value yourself at whatever you want.
That's true. Except that there's powers beyond our comprehension that value you less than you do.
True.
It's all exchange, right? It's all, you have two parties in every exchange that happens in a free market system. There's two parties. Yeah. And if you don't value yourself, then you're just going to constantly get fucked over. Yeah. But at the same time, if you have no choice, then you're just going to get paid nothing.
Yeah.
Often there's a point where there is no choice, like in such situations where an entire town's economy is basically run by a coal company.
Yeah.
There's lots of stories about that. There's fucking songs about that.
Or history, yeah.
Fucking company store.
16 tons.
16 tons by fucking Tennessee Ernie Ford.
16 tons.
What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Shit. Fuck, I forgot the lyrics. But yeah.
Man, we were really singing there for a second.
And we were. But that's the case where a business can own an entire town, not just the source of income, but where people spend their income.
Yeah.
And when shit like that happens, that's fucked.
Yeah,
that's when things get out of control, and you need to bring in a trust breaker.
Yeah.
You need to be able to take that business and turn it into like 50.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're at that point yet in society, but we're probably due for something like that soon. I feel that these tech businesses control so much of the economy.
Well,
either directly or indirectly.
And they control
and just people's minds.
Yeah, they censor shit. I mean,
yeah, and there's a point where these things got to be broken up or have to be legislated against.
Yeah,
because otherwise they
become too powerful.
It's an entity to itself, which will eventually accumulate power.
Yeah,
it's not to say that it shouldn't, but it should be capped at a certain point.
Yeah,
that's ultimately the that's why I like Teddy Roosevelt. He was a capitalist. As they call them the progressives. There was a series of presidents they call the progressive presidents,
right? And
he was maybe one of the first. And he established the national parks,
Right.
in the United States because he loved hunting and he wanted people in the future to be able to hunt. He broke up Standard Oil because they owned like 95% of the oil industry in the United States. And he said, that's fucked up. How is there capitalism if there's no one competing? If there's only one fucking monopoly that controls everything? That's not capitalism. Yep. That's a non-governmental entity owning everything.
How did he manage to do the things that he did in such a short time? Like he
had 8 years in, but
yeah, but like he did so many things, like broke up big oil.
I have a feeling
national parks, like maybe it just wasn't as big of a deal.
I don't know. Just at the time, probably a lot of people were like, "This guy's useless," but of course, history always changes as time goes on.
Yeah,
people always think differently of people. So at the time, people were like, "Obama's the greatest," and then we look back and it's like, "Man, Obama didn't really do anything."
But there's also way more gears and cogs to the Canadian government and the American government.
But not at that time.
Not at that time.
It would have been easier for one president to actually change policy like that.
That's right. That's right.
It would have been easier for him to convince his party to be like, hey, this is fucked up. And then they'd be like, oh, yeah, that is fucked up.
Because you only had to convince 30 people.
Basically. Now you have, it's not even just,
you know what I mean?
It's not even just that. It's, the democracy is kind of a farce today.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different lobby groups that basically fuck up legislative measures.
Well, there's
constantly. They'll protest legislative measures
influence
all the time.
Outside of Parliament.
Oh, Parliament or the Congress.
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah, there's so much that goes on outside of it.
So it's no longer just men discussing what's best. It's a lot of interest from the outside.
Yeah.
From citizens, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, just even think about, in Canada, like, I know the dairy industry has like almost a stranglehold on any policy pertaining to the dairy industry. There's what do they call that? The Dairy Farmers of Canada.
Right.
Is like it's an association. It has like a complete stranglehold on that, on any legislation regarding dairy production in Canada.
Interesting.
And for good or worse, I'm not a fucking dairy farmer and I don't know shit, but I've seen some people say that because American dairy cannot be imported into Canada, that I think that was a huge issue for Trump, for instance, that the dairy industry owns Canadian dairy and American dairy can't compete here. So Trump was pissed at that, and so he tariffed all of our lumber and stuff.
Right.
So we couldn't sell lumber down there because it was so expensive for them. So like that's the sort of thing where there's extra governmental associations that actually control national policy.
Right.
Which is it's fucked up. It's strange.
So did he tariff Canadian lumber?
Yeah.
Then why was lumber so fucking expensive here for a while?
Like recently? Like the last year?
Yeah.
Oh, that was because he wasn't
because that tariff was lifted as soon as he left?
Yeah, he got voted out. That tariff was
so
lifted.
Then people are just buying Canadian lumber like it's going
out of style. The Canadian lumber just got bought up by Americans for sure. And then I mean, not even, I guess it started before he got voted out. That's true. But that was mostly just the COVID thing because, first of all, production was low.
Well, yeah, and yeah, exactly.
Production was low, and demand was high because everyone's like, well, I'm going to be home for 2 weeks. They said 2 weeks, 600 weeks ago. And so I might as well fucking finish the bathroom that I've been wanting to finish for like ever. Yeah. So then local demand for lumber was just astronomical.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Nobody was working, cutting lumber.
That was part of it. That was part of it was just that they shut down for a while, and so there was sort of a dip in production.
Yeah, it was ridiculous there for a while.
Yeah, it's better now, isn't it?
I think, it's come down quite a bit.
It was like, how much wasn't it like
it was pushing
$6 for a fucking 2x4?
No, it was pushing $10 for a 2x4, like 8-foot 2x4.
Oh, holy hell, man.
I paid $10.95 for a 2x4 one time.
Just one 2x4.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Fuck's sake.
Before I've also, a year before, I paid just under $3 for a 2x4.
Yeah.
Just to put that into perspective, in 2019, a 2x4 was like $250.
Yeah.
and then April of 2020,
5 times the price.
$10.95.
Yeah, 5 times the price. It's fucking crazy.
It was whack. And I'm not saying, was it April, but it was probably that summer because everybody started buying more and production was less there. And then probably shut down in March. It was probably like June or July is when it really spiked.
Yeah.
Because then it was like the summer projects.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, I need a summer project. Go finish the bathroom, finish the basement, wherever.
Exactly. It just spiked there. It was awful.
Yeah. It's crazy. Well, we're sitting at about an hour and 10 minutes here. We can keep going. I have a Today in History still.
Oh, do it Today in History, and then we'll call it wrap her up.
Okay. So Today in History, November 17th, 2021.
Yep.
Today. Well, on November 17th, through history, in 375, enraged by the insolence of barbarian envoys.
Wait, 375 AD?
AD.
Okay.
Yeah. 375 AD, enraged by the insolence of barbarian envoys. Valentinian, the emperor of the Western Roman Empire, dies of apoplexy in Pannonia in Central Europe. So apoplexy, I had to Google what the fuck that was.
Some sort of disease?
The motherfucker had a stroke. These are Germans, by the way. These are German
so he's just
envoys.
A big fat German.
No, this guy, this Valentinian, he was Roman, but these Germans come up there.
Oh, okay.
And they pissed him off so bad, he had a stroke and died.
Because he was probably big and fat.
Well, he's a fat fucking Italian, is what he was.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious. In 1558, Queen Elizabeth I ascends to the throne of England.
Queen Elizabeth I.
The first. In 1558. Unrelated to the current
Queen
Elizabeth II.
A little bit of smoke was coming on my ears for a second.
So there's a second. The Elizabeth we have now is the second Elizabeth.
Oh, because
but they're not part of the same family.
Oh, okay.
Those Elizabeth I was part of the Tudor family, which was a offshoot of the Plantagenet dynasty, which that's who conquered England in 1066, I believe, or whenever the fuck. Elizabeth II is part of the House of Windsor, which is originally from Germany.
Oh, okay.
Which is the House of Hohenzollern, I believe, in Germany, which comes from, maybe it's the House of Hamburg. I don't know. One of them fucking nobles from Germany.
Right.
That's where they actually descend from. They're Germans. They changed their house name because during World War I, fighting the Germans, they didn't think having a German monarch would be too cool with the public, so they changed their last name. But yes, in 1558, Queen Elizabeth I ascends to the throne of England.
Cool.
In 1796, Napoleon Bonaparte defeats an Italian army near the Alpone River in Italy, which, I mean, I included it here, but that's not really history because it's not that hard to defeat an Italian army. It's here, but...
Everybody did it.
Everybody fucking defeated the Italian army.
At Mussolini.
Well, that's part of why they sucked so bad. Anyway, in 1869, the Suez Canal is formally opened.
Interesting.
Yep.
Cool.
In 1913, the first ship sails through the Panama Canal, which connects the Atlantic and Pacific
It's weird
Oceans.
that both of those canals were opened up on the same day.
No, that is... Well, no, that's the thing is, 1913 is the day the first ship sails through the Panama Canal. I think it probably opened a couple weeks before that or something.
Yeah. Still, but that's kind of cool.
That's fun that it lines up like that, eh?
Yeah. History.
In 1918, influenza deaths reported in the United States have far exceeded World War I casualties.
That was the Spanish flu?
Yeah. Spanish flu. I'm assuming now this statement that I got off of history.net, I'm assuming this is American casualties in World War I, not total casualties, because that war killed, 20 million combatants.
Yeah.
Not just civilians and whatever. So, in 1965, the North Vietnamese Army ambushes American troops of the 7th Cavalry at Landing Zone Albany in the Ia Drang Valley, almost wiping them out. That movie with Mel Gibson, We Were Soldiers.
Yeah.
That's about that.
Oh, okay.
It's about the Idrang Valley.
I seen it on Netflix last night, and I was like, oh, I need to watch that.
I believe that the Idrang Valley conflict, that was kind of the first major battle between American forces and the Vietnamese. Like the first major, huge battle. Because otherwise, the Americans were mostly in a advisory role. But in 1965, that was the first big battle. In 1989, students demonstrate in Prague, and it is quickly put down by riot police, leading to an uprising, the Velvet Revolution, which will eventually topple the communist government by December 29th of 89. But this today, in 1989, was the start of the Velvet Revolution.
Cool.
Yeah.
The first...
it was the first inklings of it.
Yeah.
The student demonstration.
What was that all about? What was
the Velvet Revolution?
Yeah.
Well, much like the fall of the Berlin Wall or any of that shit that went on, essentially the Iron Curtain was falling.
Yeah.
Czechoslovakia, which was a puppet of the Soviet Union, had decided they didn't want any part of this anymore. They wanted change. They wanted to reorient their country. And so there was student protests and all sorts of things. They call it the Velvet Revolution because it was very soft.
Yeah.
I believe that's why they call it that. But it was a trend. It was a trend, just like the fall of the Berlin Wall, which was also 89.
Yeah. So. People just came out and said, hey.
Enough of this shit.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
This is
tired of Russians.
This is our town.
This is our fucking town, and if I want to sell crack on the street, God damn it, I will.
It's pretty cool that our uncle got to see the Berlin Wall.
He had a piece of it, didn't he?
I thought so.
He had a piece, and it got stolen out of his luggage.
That's right.
He was in Berlin while it was falling down, and he managed to get like a little chunk. Like I don't know if it's maybe that big or something. Just like a small size of a rock. Yeah. And it got stolen out of his luggage. I don't know if he got searched or how it got stolen, but we'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
Finally, in the year 2000, I consider this to be history just because it's now the year 2021, so this is 21 years ago. In the year 2000, the controversial president of Peru, Alberto Fujimori, is removed from office. Now, Alberto Fujimori, he's Japanese, eh?
Oh, okay.
But in South America, there's lots of Japanese immigrants there. Tons, like millions of people.
Was he just really corrupt?
Oh, horribly corrupt. He got fucking ousted, and I believe he looked for exile back in Japan, despite the fact he's never been there.
Yeah.
But he's Japanese, but he was born in Peru. He's like, I'm going to go back to Japan because maybe they'll accept me. You fucking bastard, Alberto. Yeah, he was horribly corrupt.
Japanese guy named Alberto.
Dude. South America's full of that shit, man.
That's hilarious. What were some Japanese people doing there?
What they're doing there? Yeah. Well, that's actually a very long history of Japanese people in South America because during the, what do they call that? The Japanese isolation period.
Yeah.
Under the Tokugawa shogunate, when no one could leave or enter the country.
Yeah.
Fishermen from Japan, they go out fishing, and a storm would take them and send them astray, right? Well, these guys would run into either American ships or Dutch ships or anyone else fishing out in the area. Lots of Spanish, especially around the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
They'd run into these guys and realize, oh, well, we can't return home or they'll fucking kill us. So it's like, well, where are we going? And the Spanish are like, oh, well, why don't you go to South America? There's lots of silver down there and all kinds of fun spices and whatever else, sugarcane. And they're like, well, fuck it. So that's kind of the start of Japanese.
Just a complete victim of circumstance.
Absolutely. The fucking storms blew Japanese people into South America. And once there was small footholds established there, then Japanese people immigrated there in mass.
Oh, wow.
And so I believe Brazil has there's 12 million people in Brazil of Japanese descent.
Interesting.
In just Brazil alone.
Probably quite mixed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I met this girl actually in 4 or 5 years ago when I was in university. I couldn't figure out what the hell this girl was, like ethnicity-wise. I was like, she looks like an Eskimo or something. I'm like, what the fuck? And I get talking with her, and it's like, oh, yeah, she's a quarter Japanese.
Interesting.
Or something like that. Her first name was Isabella, and her last name was like some Brazilian, some Portuguese shit. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And but her middle name was some Japanese thing. It was like her father's or her mother's like maiden name or something like that.
Huh.
Like tons of Japanese people down there, and it just so happens in Peru, their president was a Japanese guy who was horribly corrupt.
That's amazing.
Which just shows that the corruption of these nations down there, it has nothing to do with race.
No, it just has. It's all their circumstance.
It's a total cultural thing, I think.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's a total circumstance thing. Anyhow.
Cool.
That was a good podcast, brother.
Hell yeah. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yeah, appreciate it. Keep on trucking. Stay loaded.
Yeah, keep your dick fat.
Keep your dick fat.
Talk to you.